Hello guys, and welcome to Poncho Games. This is Steven playing Space Engineers. So this is going to be the world that our new Poncho Games Space Engineers stuff will be on for like our creative-y kind of things. Just looking around right now, it's kind of our standard high-density world that you normally get. I actually really haven't played in a while, so there's going to be a lot of stuff that's different. But I'm going to go over some basic fighter designs. I'm just going to go ahead and make one, and I'm going to go ahead and say this. First of all, I do not have any plans. I'm just going to build this one as I go. Just straight up by ear. Oh well, apparently I'm going to delete that block first. Oh my gosh, oh wow, it's been a long time. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going here, bam. First, okay, apparently I'm not going to. Wow, what is wrong with me? Oh, well, what is wrong is that I haven't played in a while. But, there we go. Got one block clicked. And I'm not 100% sure how long I will make this. So let's go ahead and make this the front. How long should we for a medium-sized front? Let's do 2, so let's do 2, that's 8, 10. Let's do a ship that is 12 blocks long. And then I'm going to press M. M turns on the center. I'm going to click to tell me that I'm using centered. And then I'm going to hit N, which turns on the blocks. Oops. Yeah, then I'm going to hit N, and it's going to turn on the centering for the blocks. So this is how I tend to make my crafts. I will go through, and I will make kind of a blank, just to decide, just to get an idea of what kind of ship I'm going to want. And I'm going to carve out bits for this from this blank to end up with my final product. And notice I kind of want to go with something a little more out there. So going in with this. I want it to be usable, so there is that. I think I'm going to make it a relatively low profile style ship. So that's good. I'm going to try to make it very maneuverable as well. So we're going to take out some of these parts right here. And we are going to install some gyroscopes. So, for those of you who are not very familiar with this game, gyroscopes are basically your bread and butter for ship control. They allow your ship to spin on an axis without using thrusters, and they greatly increase the maneuverability of your ship. So I am generally very liberal with the application of gyroscopes. There we go, like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a thruster core. Oops, looks like I can't have them attached to other gyroscopes. So attach it to the wall there. Huh, that's weird. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this design here, I don't know. I'm gonna go for something a little weird in this build. So it looks kind of manta ray-esque, and I guess that's what I'm going with. Okay. I'm gonna make it relatively fast. I'm gonna go ahead and put on some of my reactor systems. This is not going to necessarily be something that is viable in survival, and I'm going to go ahead and make that clear to everyone who's watching right now. This will, again, repeat, this will not be something that is overly viable in the real game. Oh, that's right. So, damn. Wow, that just totally kind of fucked up a lot of stuff. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to cut open an area for my reactor. And I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to attach some more gyroscopes to my system. So I'm going to hit 5 here. And attach gyroscopes. 6. Really, I mean, I might need more. But right now, I'm just going to install one large reactor. Let me make sure that I'm going to be able to access it. To be 100% honest, I don't remember how to access it. I'm pretty sure there's a panel somewhere. Oh, crap. This, my friends, is why... Yep, there we go. That's how you access it. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be accessing this from the bottom. Or, I guess this is the bottom. Oh, wow. I am so scatterbrained. It's not as bad as leprosy. So there we go, tossing another one of those gyroscopes in. And I'm going to go ahead and delete that landing gear right there. And again, I'm going to go ahead and say this. This is not the only way to make a ship. This is just how I enjoy making ships. And I like to make that very, very, very clear. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and put on my cockpit, and I'm going to use a fighter cockpit because, well, I'm making a fighter ship. We're gonna slap it right on there. Unless it doesn't want to. Really? 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 You're gonna do this to me? Okay. That's what you wanna do. Okay. I really need to learn some of these buttons. Because I'm not very good. I'm not very good at all with the controls for this. So I normally just kind of fake it till I make it on this. Which, here we go. This should be it. This should be it. Okay. So now we have our very, very, very basic cockpit. After this step, I'm going to go ahead and wire in weaponry. Because, well, I mean, it's kind of hard to have a fighter craft if you have no weapons. So we're going to go in here, and we're going to choose the staple of all ship combat, and that is not the rocket launcher. I didn't mean to click on that. Come on. Gatling gun, come here. There we go. And that is the Gatling gun. This is a wonderful, wonderful weapon. And it is probably, in my opinion, it is the best weapon in this game. Not because of the damage it does, but because you can actually track opponents with it when they're coming in. So I'm going to do these nice little inlaid guns. I'm probably going to have 2 of these in here. Maybe another one underneath, and then I'm going to have 1 rocket pod. right there. Okay, so right now, what I have is I have this nice little line of weaponry coming in, but I don't have anything that will do any overkill kind of damage to a ship. So what I add in for that is the glorious rocket launcher. And I'm really hoping that this is shooting in the right direction. And I'm actually going to go check by looking over here at the fighter. Make sure that I'm pointing it in the correct location. Okay, so it does appear that that is how you connect a rocket launcher. And actually, I'm probably going to end up using the reloadable rocket launcher because, well, it's reloadable. In this way, it's not. And while I said this isn't going to be completely viable for survival-style combat, I do want something that at least will not get you completely ripped apart. So we're going to go with this reloadable rocket launcher. Okay. So this reloadable rocket launcher is really freaking weird. And it looks like I'm going to have to replace this with, there we go. There we go. Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna have to replace that. Actually, no, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna have to make this, you're gonna have to manually reload your rocket launcher on this, because that just, I don't know, first you're really not using rockets that much in Space Engineers. And that's one thing that I've noticed from myself playing, is it's really not the most, it's not the most user-friendly weapon. A lot of people end up killing themselves with it before they kill their enemies. And that's not fun. Also, there is, the max speed in this game is a set speed. It is not realistic in that sense. And because of that, the rockets will go at that max speed, is what I think that's the speed they'll go at. And because the rockets will only go at that speed, if you're going at max speed and then you turn, you ram into your own rocket, which gets you killed. And nobody likes getting killed. So I need to figure out how to reload a rocket. There has to be some way. Maybe there's a, oh, okay. Press K to open rocket launcher inventory. Okay. Huh. Okay, so there's that. And now we have here, we're gonna put it back our strafing cannons, because these are beautiful machines. And actually, what we can do here is we can come up, delete that block, and rotate it so that all we have to have is one conveyor block coming into that. So right now what we have is we have our rockets out front. And this rocket will fire straight forward. It's a center mass kind of thing. And then we have these four. Notice I'm actually not putting them very close together. They're relatively spaced out, not completely linearly, but they are spaced out nonetheless. The reason I'm doing that, and the reason I'm not stacking them one on top of the other, is because I would prefer to cut across an enemy instead of focusing fire. The Gatling guns are not ultra accurate. I mean, they're very, very good for what they are, but they're not 100% accurate. So if you spread them out like this, you are increasing the chance of hitting the enemies that are coming at you. Also, you're increasing the damage zone, so it increases the chance of hitting a part that would damage the ship completely. Like if you aim at a wing, and you're hitting it, Well, okay, it's not a wing because it's not an aerodynamic surface because you are in a vacuum. However, a lot of people build wings, and people call them wings, but they really should be called pylons because you're using them as mounting surfaces. Notice I have a wing-shaped object. I'm just going to refer to it as a wing because it is kind of a pylon. But, you know, people naturally build how we see, and we see planes. Eventually, I kind of want to build something that's not unnatural, because obviously planes are unnatural, but eventually I want to build something that is not how we as modern day humans would normally see something. Like something that is a human, like something that humans would have after being in space for a while, where we kind of get out of that barrier that we've built from being in a regular air-based flight for so many years, like we have currently. Okay, so what are we gonna do? Let's go ahead and add some of the back thrusters on. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here, and I'm gonna have one large thruster in the back. So bam. Actually, I'm gonna get away with having two in the back. That'd be pretty cool. They're stacked on top of each other. Yeah, that would be cool. Okay, so bam, bam. Okay, so now we're going to go into our inventory by hitting G. We're going to go down to... Is it power blocks? No. What would it be in? Whatever, I'm just going to go to all blocks. I'm going to grab this large thruster. And because we already used our cockpit, we're going to destroy the cockpit here. And I now have this large engine selected. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add it there, and then add another one on top of it. So this is a relatively fast flying bird already. However, I'm going to add a couple other thrusters along the back, and some of these are going to be sideways pointing. You're probably asking yourself, and you're probably like, you're crazy if you've never played this before. The reason I am adding thrusters up and I'm about to add them down is because those thrusters that are going to be controlling your up and down and side-to-side flight. And that they are very, very, very important engines. If you don't have these, you are pretty much dead in the water. However, your braking engines and your thrusting engines do not need to be nearly as strong as the engines that push you forward, because you naturally are going to fly in a certain way, and you want to be able to fly forward. So we are going to put some of these sideways thrusters on right now, and I'm going to make sure that they're not going to damage other parts of the ship in a little bit, but for right now, I'm just going to set them up. So I got my sides, and I got my ups and downs. I'm going to put a couple more ups and downs on the front up here, but this is a pretty good base. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and work on some cargo pieces. So really, the belly of this plane is going to be relatively weak because that's where you're going to be loading this machine. Of course, loading it is not going to be a huge deal because I'm just going to use conveyor blocks, or not conveyor, some tube blocks, and that's about it. And then a cargo box in the middle where you can easily go in and reload, and then you have to reload the fuel separately. So it's a relatively compact design, and it's one that I like quite a bit. So we're going to go in and find... God, they added so much crap. I don't know where anything is anymore. Okay, Come on. Cargo. Man, that's not cargo. I'm just gonna need cargo. Okay, so here we have a large cargo container. We're gonna use a small, oh wait, what's this? Medium cargo. Oh wow, we have a medium cargo container. That's pretty damn cool. But we're gonna go ahead and use this small cargo container. And the small cargo container, what it is going to do is it is going to supply our turrets. So it's gonna come in here, and what I'm gonna have a redundancy. And what this redundancy is going to do, it's gonna make it so that if one gets shot off, the other one is capable of shooting the other side. So notice I'm putting these in. Or notice how I'm putting them in. I have to turn them so that they will be able to feed into the turrets. These cargo containers will also be protected by other bits on this ship, and it's more. This is something you're gonna have to. I'm gonna build it so you're gonna have to refuel it in a hangar. If you don't refuel it in a hangar, it's gonna be very, very difficult because of how I'm gonna build this body to kind of hide the cargo openings, so that you're protecting your system. So I have the conveyor in here, and I'm gonna place the Gatling gun in my builder. Oh, wow, that's a big conveyor. Why is this big? Probably because it is a conveyor. A small conveyor, but I need. So I'm gonna go in and grab the small conveyor. Okay, and I haven't really played this game in a decent amount of time, but I assume that some of the basics work the exact same. I assume you have these smaller tubes, small curved tube, and this small curved tube will be able to connect. What is this? That's a conveyor frame. What is that even supposed to be? Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sorry. It has been a long time since I played this game. Okay, so this is our curved tube model. So we're gonna make sure that this is lined up well. So what do we want to go up? So come in here. There we go. Pretty simple right there. And that connects those together. I think. I'll have to go in here and make sure in a little bit. There we go. Now hit 8. Grab this straight tube. Go and hit 9 again and add this other curved tube. And now we're going to fit this to the pod. There we go. Okay, see, we get the light, so we now know that there are connections made. And this area is going to need to be armored up, like a lot. And it will be armored up a lot. I really do like this hidden turret design that I got going. That'll also increase the survivability of our turrets in here. I'm thinking of adding some heavy armor, but I really don't think that's going to be necessary to the survivability of my craft. So I will not actually do that. So now I'm doing a lot of block work right now. So we're going to go into all blocks. We're going to grab those multiple different block types. I'm going to grab another thruster, and actually I'm going to go in and grab my gyroscopes again. And now I'm going to finish up how this looks. Actually, first of all, I'm going to take it for a flight test. I'm going to show you guys the difference between a heavily armored vehicle and a lightly armored vehicle. Right now, this would be considered a very, very lightly armored vehicle because, well, it has little to no armor on it. So I'm going to go ahead here, and I'm just going to add a couple of these thrusters. These are going to come right off, but I just want to show you guys, I just want to be able to pilot this so I can show you guys the difference between a ship that is very, very heavily armored and a ship that has no armor on it at all. This doesn't, even though it does have armored blocks, I don't consider it armored because, well, everything is out in the open. So I'm going to come in here and come up to the pilot seat, and I'm going to hit T to enter the cockpit, and it's on.